Hello everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to mypinkstamper.com. I'm super excited for today's tutorial. I'm going to be using the Party Panda Celebration stamp set, and you can earn this stamp set for free up until March 31st. So you still have a little over 2 weeks if you'd like to earn this for free on my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net, with a $50 retail order. There's also other items you can earn for free as well. Full details are in the description of this video and on my website, mypinkstamper.com. All right, I'm going to jump right in. This card is absolutely adorable. I'm going to step this card up and I'm going to be doing a little bit of heat embossing. If you'd like to recreate this card, you do not have to use the heat embossing. You can just use the black ink if you'd like. And I'm going to be using the happy birthday and the cute little panda right here that is just getting ready to go to a birthday party or have a birthday celebration. All right, we will go ahead and start with Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to emboss on this, and I am using our embossing buddy. This helps with the static, so I'll go ahead and just swipe down on that. Now I'm going to be using our VERSAMARK ink pad along with our basic black archival ink pad. You can make any of our regular Stampin' Up! Classic pads or our archival. You can turn these into embossing wet ink pads where the embossing powder will actually stick to your image, and that's by using our VERSAMARK first. So I'm going to show you this technique, and I've shown it in quite a few of my videos. If you've watched in the past month, I think I've shown this technique at least twice. I use it a lot in my personal stamping and in my business. I'm going to be using our clear embossing powder, and I have this just in a little Tupperware container. I usually have 2 or 3 of these poured in here of our little containers of the embossing powder. I go through a lot of embossing powder, so I like to have it ready. All right, so I have everything set up and ready. When you're doing a bigger embossed background or image, I like to have a piece of our Stampin' grid paper underneath. But because this image is fairly small, I can just use my Tupperware container for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my clean stamp directly into my VERSAMARK. Make sure you don't rock it back and forth. You really want to avoid getting ink on your edges or on the edges of your stamp. So just make sure you stamp up and down. And then on this one, I'm also pressing up and down, and I'm turning it as I'm doing it just to get a solid coverage. Now I'm going to put this right here, lift it up, and I'm going to take fairly quickly, I don't want to dry on yet, I'm just going to pour the clear embossing powder right over the top of my cute little panda bear, shake it off, set everything aside, and now I'm using our Stampin' Up! Heat tool, and I'm using the heat setting, the emboss setting, which is setting 2. And I like to just aim my gun directly at it. I don't go like this. I don't think it makes a difference for me personally. So I just watch it melt, and I watch it move up and over, and you can see the consistency change. All over. There we go. So now I have my cute little panda, and he or she is embossed now. I'll go ahead and put my ink pads away quickly, set them aside, and I'm going to be pulling out my Big Shot. Set everything aside that I don't need. This is the Stampin' Up! Big Shot right here, and I love my Big Shot. You can use this for embossing backgrounds with our folders, our embossing folders, or for cutting out images. And so I'm going to just place this right on top. I'm using the Precision Base Plate, and I always use that. This is my go-to. I know that's a personal preference for me. I'm okay. My cutting pads get a little cut up and destroyed, but that just means they're well loved and it doesn't hurt the image when you're stamping or when you're using it when you're cutting them out. So I'm using now our stitched shaped framelits, stitched shapes framelits, and I will have a picture of these on the screen. They come in a package of circles, squares, and ovals, and they are my go-to for just my regular basic shape for my cards and my scrapbook pages and my boxes and bags and everything like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that through, run that through, and I'll show you what we have from this if you've never used our Big Shot. Ta-da! Just set that aside, and now all I do is just carefully, just want to make sure that my stitches stay nice and neat. So I have my stitches right there, and now I'm going to use the next size up in my stitched shapes, and that's this one right here, and I'm using our basic black cardstock. My last piece was Whisper White, if I didn't mention that. I will have all the item codes on the screen on this video. You can purchase anything you'd like directly from my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. I also have a full supply list at the end of this video in case you miss anything, you didn't have time to write it down. So if you watch to the very end of my video, you'll see that. Okay, that's everything we're going to be cutting with the Big Shot. I can set that aside, and now I'm going to be using, I'm not using that one, I don't know why it's out. I'm using one of our Stampin' Right markers. I'm using Bermuda Bay. This comes in a pack of all of our markers, or you can get it in just the color family, which is the brights. And I'm just going to color. I have my window open. Can you hear my chickens out there? It's almost springtime. Okay, so I have that on there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this. I believe it's Picture Perfect Designer Series paper pack. I'll have the item code and the name of it on the screen. And I have this cut at 1 inch by 3.5. And I'm using our triple banner punch, and I believe I may have used this in my last video as well. It's also another wonderful staple. I get asked this question a lot. What do you recommend? What are your go-to product that Stampin' Up! Carries? This is one of them. I use the banners all the time. I also use the stitched shape framelits, basic black ink pad. So this is a really good card. This is a really simple and basic card that anyone can make. And I'm using some simple supplies. So if you did not want to emboss this, you could just simply stamp it with the black, but I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz to that. Now I'm going to take some of our snail adhesive. This is our snail adhesive. It's also my go-to adhesive if you're just starting out. I highly recommend it. And I'm going to put this on top of a piece of our Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm just going to have this go in the middle up here, like so. And then I'm using some of our Bermuda Bay ink. And then I'm going to stamp the happy birthday. Make sure I didn't catch any edges. I'm just going to stamp it right here in the center. Happy birthday. I'm so happy that that turned out. Sometimes it's a little crooked when you're stamping, and that's totally fine. It means it's homemade and it was made with love. All right, now I'm going to take a piece of our Bermuda Bay cardstock, and that's cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Put some of our snail adhesive on the back. And this is going to make these colors pop. And now I'm going to take a piece of our Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 5 1/2 inches by 8 1/2, and I've scored it already at 4 1/4 to save time. I like my videos to be under 10 minutes for you guys. So you can just pop in and visit me, watch a quick tutorial, and then go on with your day. Sometimes the longer ones have more different techniques on them that take a little bit longer. All right, so I have that. Now I'm also going to add this on here. And I'm going to finish this up with some of our bright enamel shapes. And I'm going to have my little panda juggling these. Like that. And then I'm using the smaller. You can tell I've used these a lot. It's going to be right there. Ta-da! Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I'm sure you haven't heard me sing that in quite a while. I've done it. I do it a lot. Usually it's when I'm trying to do 20,000 things at one time. Okay, we're almost done with this video for today, you guys. And if you haven't already, check out mypinkstamper.com, click on blog. I'm updating my blog daily now, so you'll never miss anything, a video or a giveaway. And if you'd like to subscribe to my video here, my YouTube, you'll never miss a video if that's what you'd like to see. All right, there is my card. Here's another one I made earlier. Simple, anyone can make these. Don't forget, time is running out to purchase or to earn this Party Panda stamp set for free. You can find out more information on my blog, mypinkstamper.com, or you can order directly from my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.